Call of Duty, a fan-favorite franchise that began its domination on the game market in 2003 with their first release Call of Duty, and it is still active to this day. The game was available to play on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and the PC. The developer for the first game was no other than Infinity Ward, which to this day still produces Call of Duty games, with their newest release coming on the 4th of November. The publisher for the first and all other games was and still is Activision. The first game only included a campaign that was set in the World War II era. After the success of the first issue, they decided to make Call of Duty 2. The game was developed by the same team that developed Call of Duty 1, but the publishers this time were Konami and Activision. The game also featured multiplayer, and there were new features that weren't in the previous title, such as regenerating health. The campaign was split into 4 small campaigns, which altogether resulted in 27 missions. Next year, a new developer, Treyarch, was working on a new Call of Duty game. Call of Duty 3 as a successor to COD 2 was only available on the consoles. The installment was also the first one to feature downloadable content or DLC, and was the best-selling title in 2006. As Call of Duty was getting older as a franchise, they had to change the name a bit, so for the 2007 title, they went with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which is a fan-favorite Call of Duty since it featured full mod support and a new game engine that changed how the game plays out. The game won several awards and got a 9 out of 10 on a review site IGN. It was also the first game to feature a mature rating and is set in the more modern days. Treyarch released their first game to feature a new game mode Zombies in 2008, World at War, which were only accessible after completing the campaign for the first time. This achievement was later on removed, and you are now able to play Zombies anytime. The game also got a mobile version that was made by Glue Mobile. The game returns to the World War II era, involving the USA, the Empire of Japan, the Soviet Union, and Nazi Germany. Later on, they released map packs for the game and were only available to buy on the PC and consoles. The developers were changing every year, and in 2009 it was Infinity Ward's turn to publish a new title. That is how Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was born. Originally announced as COD 6, it had an internal beta, meaning that the developers were testing the game instead of the audience. It was one of the first Call of Duty games to feature famous voice actors such as 50 Cent and Bill Murray. The 7th installment of the game was made by Treyarch in 2010. Black Ops 1 was a sequel to World at War and is set in the Cold War. The game sold big, selling more than 5.5 million copies in 24 hours of its release. Zombies got a story, and it was set during the World War II, where a group of scientists known as Group 935 wanted to improve the human body by using their knowledge. After not having enough funds to continue, they turned to making weapons for the Nazis in the war. In 2011, there was a new developer for the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, known as Sledgehammer Games, and they collaborated with Infinity Ward. There was also a Wii version that was made by Treyarch. It was the biggest entertainment launch of all time, by selling 6.5 million copies in its first day of release until Black Ops 2 surpassed it in 2012. The game featured private matches, as well as a new game mode called Confirmed, where you have to pick up dog tags to win the match. Black Ops 2, developed by Treyarch, was the first Call of Duty game to feature future warfare technology and a branching storyline where your choices affect the story. In 24 hours of its release, the game grossed over 500 million and it sold 7.5 million copies worldwide. Call of Duty Ghosts, released in 2013, is one of the most hated Call of Duty games since it lacks general innovation and reusing concepts from previous games. The game was also released for the new PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The trailer for the game featured the American rapper Eminem with his song Survival showing off in-game clips and footage. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare brought huge changes to the franchise, since it featured exosuits that let you jump high and shoot while sliding. The developer of Sledgehammer Games was working on an action-adventure Call of Duty, but then the production got cancelled. The campaign features an actor from the House of Cards, Kevin Spacey, as the title's antagonist. The current active Call of Duty game was published in 2015 and it was developed by Treyarch. The game is a sequel to the Black Ops 2 issue, and it was only available on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Upon release, the game received positive reviews by critics and was a commercial hit in general. There was also a version made for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 by Beanox and Mercenary Technology. This year's Call of Duty has yet to be released, but we know its title and the trailer was also released. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare's trailer is second most disliked video on YouTube, coming right after Justin Bieber's Baby. The title is gonna be released on the 4th of November 2016. Note that this is only a brief summary of the Call of Duty history, since there are a lot of informations that I haven't mentioned in the video.
That's all, folks.